And welcome back to the week of What If. Friday's What If today. We have one from Albert Reyes, who asked the question, what if Goku was in the Monsterverse? Now, to be very clear, we would have to look at different sagas of Goku in his life. Kid Goku in the Monsterverse. Adult Goku in Dragon Ball, Super Goku is his own thing entirely. Dragon Ball Z Goku in the Buu Saga Goku. There's so many eras of Goku that it does beg the question of what happens with each version. Different versions of Goku are in the Monsterverse. That said, really, let's be very clear. Goku could solo the entire Monsterverse. Goku as he is now in both manga, anime, and the overall Dragon Ball series as a whole could solo the Monsterverse a million times over and a million times again. There is no conceivable creature so far that we have met that Goku could not completely tank. And the reason for that is, even though Ghidorah was most high-level Titans are planetary level threats on some level, as long as they have an ability that can actually affect the planet. Ghidorah, just by existing, was a planetary threat because he was creating a Category 5 hurricane, just by existing and flapping his wings. Godzilla, we saw in Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla has the power to blow a hole into the center of the fucking earth. Now, that said, though, we haven't seen a lot of other Titans with abilities that give them a global level of threat. Enough firepower probably would have brought down the Mutos. Could probably bring down Mothra or Rodan. Hell, in theory, could probably bring down Ghidorah and Godzilla, to be frank. But because Godzilla feeds off radiation, nukes aren't going to really work very well. That's why the Oxygen Destroyer nearly killed him. We know the Oxygen Destroyer does not affect Ghidorah because it's an alien. So you'd have to go with nukes again, and that might work. But you'd have to probably dump up 20 of them on him to really do any significant damage, and he can regen. So whereas Goku in Dragon Ball Super alone is a universal level threat. He could, in theory, have destroyed the universe with the proper technique, just like Beerus's power level is on a universal destroyer. He can destroy an entire universe with his full power. And the problem here is also, even if you take Super Goku out of the equation, you still have Dragon Ball Buu Saga Goku, whose power is well beyond planetary. It's probably galactic level, because his power can be sensed in the world of the Kais, which exists in a macroverse outside of the regular universe, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku's power was strong enough that it could still be sensed from that level area. Just powering up to Super Saiyan 3 shook the very planet and risked destroying the Earth. Then you go to GT, who's far stronger than Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga era Goku. They're probably nowhere near the same level as Super Goku. We just have no evidence to say he's stronger. Really no evidence at all, if we're going to be frank. Then if you just want to keep scaling back, Dragon Ball Z, Cell Saga, Android Saga, even Namek Saga Goku are all planetary at minimum. Solar system to maybe slow galactic at highest. Solar system almost definitely. They said Perfect Cell was a solar system buster. And Goku, while not as strong as Perfect Cell, could still go toe-to-toe with Perfect Cell. So it stands to reason that he was probably close to that level. At minimum, he was a star buster. I have no doubt about that. And could easily take out a planet. So you really got to look more, if you want this to be a more interesting what if, you got to look more towards the early years of Goku, like Saiyan Saga Goku and back. So Saiyan Saga Goku, Rad's, I don't know if you really call it Saga, but beginning, because it's still the Saiyan Saga, but Saiyan Saga. So really, Saiyan Saga, and it's basically when he fought Vegeta. End of Dragon Ball, where he fought Piccolo Jr., and then Kid Goku. Those are the real three Gokus that make this interesting. And then basically just talk about Super Goku real quick. So in the Monsterverse, Goku would be doing his thing. If Goku was sent to the Monsterverse, let's say, before the events of the first Godzilla film, Goku's probably just living his life as a rash. He's trying to figure out how to get back home. There's no really way he can do it, but he's still training, all that. And then the whole threat of the monsters, threat of Titans show up. Now, I think Goku was probably in Japan because while the Earth. Their Earth in Dragon Ball is not really our Earth, obviously. It doesn't have the same continents or anything like that. So where Goku really lives is not actually really known, like in terms of like a continent. But let's just assume he sells into Japan as, making radishes. Well, maybe he hears about the Titans and, sees them as a threat. So if it's Super Goku, he sees the Titans and he immediately goes and takes care of them. Or at least that would be his game plan if he could find them, because he probably doesn't even know about them until he sees that on the TV. Can Goku sense the energy of, say, like Godzilla or Ghidorah or the Mutos? I don't know, because I'm sure they have ki and they certainly have energy levels, but it's a natural radioactive energy. And as far as I know, ki isn't radioactive. I will say this, because Godzilla does have basically a legit bionuclear core. Godzilla, yeah, he could sense Godzilla if Godzilla is, on the prowl. But the Mutos, I don't think it's as easy. Even though no Mutos do feed on radiation and are radioactive to some degree, they don't have, I think, ki signs to really, or at least strong enough ki signs to really, for Goku to pinpoint where they are. But if Goku, learns where they are in the city, like near the final fight, he might go there and, try to help out. Only see Godzilla trying to take these things on. Now, Goku is also very empathetic and has a very solid connection with animals and creatures. So Goku would be able to very easily tell, I think, that Godzilla is not the enemy, that the Mutos are the enemy, and Godzilla's trying to help. So when they start to gang up on him, he does do his part to basically pull the big one off of him as Godzilla takes on this male, and then allow Godzilla to get the KO hit in. Godzilla also isn't stupid either. He can pick up, I think, because Godzilla can sense other Titans. So Godzilla can probably sense ki on some level, and does sense Goku flying up there, and he's recognized that Goku helped him. He also recognizes that Goku's not normal. And, he's staring at us like, hey. And it's like, and Godzilla's just looking at us. He just kind of gives him a nod and walks off. Going to Godzilla King of the Monsters, relatively same thing. Like, Goku's just minding his business. And then, when Ghidorah wakes up, I think that's Goku's immediately like, what the hell is that? Like, unlike Godzilla, who we can feel Godzilla's presence and stuff like that, Ghidorah is a complete, because Ghidorah is alien and is bioelectrical and all that, gravity beams. He's got a power that maybe isn't super high by Goku's standards, but and by the way, we're dealing with Super Goku right now, obviously, but it's very messy. It's kind of how we described Moro. Not a high power level, but a very dangerous feeling coming off. So he's immediately going in. He flies to Antarctica. Ghidorah's already left, but he's coning in, and him and Ghidorah have it out. And I think Ghidorah is definitely something that challenges Goku a little bit, because Ghidorah is already creating a freaking hurricane, and Goku's got to fly into that. Now Goku can survive the hostilities of space with the aura that his ki provides, but still, flying into a category F hurricane. Even Goku's like, yeah, it's like, and then he sees Ghidorah, he's like, whoa! It's like, Kame! He goes Super Saiyan Blue, Ghidorah fires gravity beams, because Ghidorah can sense, I don't like this thing. And, they clash. Obviously, Goku wins, takes off one of Ghidorah's heads, but that head regenerates, it's like, crap, and the tail hits Goku, and he actually goes flying. All right, fine. And he comes in, starts blasting at Ghidorah, who can tank a bit of Goku's hits, surprisingly. I'm not saying this version of Ghidorah is universal. I'm just saying that Goku knows he can't put his all into it because he can't threaten the planet too much with his power. So, he's blasting at Ghidorah. Ultimately, he uses basically Krillin's technique, slices all the heads off, and then, basically finally throws Ghidorah up into space and says, boom, blasts Ghidorah into, oblivion. And Godzilla's now the alpha again. There's no contested alpha or whatever like that. So, now we have Godzilla versus Kong. And by the way, yeah, I didn't start with Kong Skull Island. I didn't feel like there's any reason for it to start there. Godzilla versus Kong would be an interesting thing. Now, Goku at this point has had a decent relationship with Godzilla. Like, he doesn't like go out of his way to hang out with Godzilla. But Godzilla and him are aware of each other, and they respect each other. So when Godzilla starts rampaging, Goku's legitimately confused. He's wondering what's going on. So he goes out, senses out Godzilla, and actually goes to find him. Godzilla, what's going on? Godzilla initially, attacks Goku, but does realize it's Goku, and Goku's never tried to challenge him or anything like that. He's honestly helped him. So he does calm down a little bit. Obviously, he can't communicate in the same way like Kong can or anything else can. But Goku is like, something is messing you up. What the heck could it be? And it's like, what the hell could it be? So Goku is now trying to find out and sense what's going on. Like, what's going on with Godzilla. He keeps an eye on Godzilla. He sees the fight with Kong and Godzilla. And this one, I think, because Godzilla's also a warrior. So he respects Godzilla to, like, stay out of the fight. It's when Mechagodzilla shows up that Goku's like, wait, it can't be. Now, Goku can't sense android energy, but because Ghidorah's consciousness is being used, he can feel that little bit of Ghidorah's in Mechagodzilla. And that's where it's like, that's what it is. It's like they brought him back to life. Unbelievable. And he sees Godzilla getting his ass kicked. And once he gets thrown down, Godzilla is Goku steps in. And because they're not expecting Goku, because Goku just randomly appeared throughout all of this, Goku comes in and slams right into us. They clash, energy beam, and beam struggle basically like we got in the movie. Like that was an awesome shot too. Mechagodzilla and Godzilla's beams just struggling against each other. It's Goku this time, and they're just Kaioken! Just smacks into Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla, comes in. He's got the missiles. Goku's dodging him. It's like, and just starts ripping through Mechagodzilla. And Mechagodzilla is losing parts of him. Like, he's getting injured, but smacks Goku into a building with his tail. Goku's like, just as he's about to, fire out his atomic breath again, Goku's like, damn it. It's like, and all of a sudden, Godzilla just blasts him with a nuclear fire again. And it comes in charge, and just starts laying the smack down. And it's actually thanks to Goku that Godzilla is ultimately able to rip Mechagodzilla's head off. And Kong gets revived. Unfortunately for the Kong fans in this, I think because Goku has a relationship with Godzilla more than he does with Kong in this verse, I'm sure he's very much like, oh, poor Kong. Wait, I can help him. Maybe he goes and revives Kong. Like, he could go do that, too. Because, he feels sympathy for him, because he can see that Kong is not a bad guy. You can see the relationship with the girl. And Maya, was it? Or, anyway. And, he just, uses a key pulse to bring him back. But, yeah, Kong kind of gets the shaft when Goku's around. Now, that's Super Goku, who can honestly take all of this. Kid Goku, I don't think is really going to be able to do anything in this series. Like, he's too weak. And even with the Nimbus, he's not going to be able to get places fast enough, nor is he strong enough to do anything. Like, Kong alone could take on Great Ape, Uzaru form, Dragon Ball Kid Goku. Like, Kong could, I think Monsterverse Kong, especially in Godzilla vs. Kong, would bitch slap, like, that version of except for that he does have an energy blast, and we saw that Kong is not good with energy blasts. Like, he got a bad burn when Godzilla tagged him. And Godzilla only tagged him. He didn't boom! Godzilla could have easily killed Kong if he had hit him point blank. So really, the question really is Saiyan Saga Goku. So let's backtrack real quick. Saiyan Saga Goku shows up in the Monsterverse, maybe after a wish gone awry. And let's say it's right at the events of Godzilla, the original Godzilla, the 2014 one. So, what does he do exactly? Does he try to figure out what's going on? Can he still sense? He can still sense the problems, like the Mutos and stuff like that to some degree. So I think it's similar where he goes and seeks out the final fight. Only this time, he's nowhere near as strong as he was. These guys are going to pose a serious problem for Goku. Because unlike with, say, like normal giant creatures he normally takes on, Goku got his ass kicked by Vegeta once he went Great Ape. And while these aren't Vegeta level power, these things are not weak and highly durable. Goku immediately comes in. Now he sees Godzilla too, but he sees Godzilla is actually trying to stop these things. And again, that empathy, animal empathy he kind of has is very key here, that you can tell Godzilla is more on this side of humanity. Goku comes in trying out this Kaioken. You make sure you're not going to pass the double. And he's able to really put the smackdown on the Mutos, who don't have any breath weapons or breath attacks or energy attacks or anything like that, except for the EMP, which wouldn't do anything to Goku. Unfortunately, Goku just physically isn't doing enough damage. So at that point, it's a Kamehameha. It hurts, but it's not able to put the Mutos down. And the male Muto sees this and goes and immediately flies after Goku. Now Goku's definitely got a speed advantage over all these guys. Even the fastest of kaiju, he's got the speed down. Even in Dragon Ball, he was bullet timing no problem after imaging. Talking about Saiyan Saga, forget it. No, Goku could easily match these guys and surpass them. But the male Muto can fly. Now that leaves Godzilla with the female Muto, and they are going whole ham here, man. They're going to town on each other, but he's got his fire breath, and ultimately he does get the final, which was best scene of that entire movie. Just holding the severed head up. Oh, so good. I really like the 2014 Godzilla. It is slow, and they do kind of cock tease you a little bit. And they really didn't use Bryan Cranston well, but ultimately, I feel they did well. And I'm a big fan of King of the Monsters. I love Skull Island, and I did really like Godzilla vs. Kong. And this leaves the Godzilla as he'd be like, Godzilla. Goku'd be like, Kamehameha. He hits the male Muto point blank because he's tailing Goku. And it's hits him in the face. It's it's starting to peel his face. Triple Kaioken! Boom! And it just takes off his head. Goku goes down on the ground, and Godzilla just is looking over. He actually, because Godzilla, like I said, Godzilla's not stupid either. He can sense things too, and he can sense this energy this person has. But he can also sense this person's a good person that helped him. So he kind of just, he walks off. Going to King of Monsters again, Goku has been around for a little while now. He's been working on his Kaioken. He can probably get to his Kaioken now about, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say he's at his Namek, arriving on Namek power level. But he's probably close. Instead of the 90s, probably like a 60 or 70. Let's go with the initial statement of 60. That means he could probably do close to a Kaioken times 10. Let's even just naturally say the times 10. So now we're getting to power levels where Goku should be able to handle most of these Titans no problem. Well, again, he senses Ghidorah and, finds the storm that Ghidorah's creating. He's like, what? And he's like, what the? Unbelievable. It's some sort of dark power. Now remember, with Super Goku, it's not a high energy compared to Goku, but it's a dark energy. With Saiyan Saga Goku, oh no, now that gap closes very much. This power is I don't know. Is Godzilla able to take care of this guy? I don't even know if I'm able to take care of this guy. I gotta try though. And he flies in, and eventually he finds Ghidorah. And Ghidorah doesn't initially notice him, but one of his heads does. It's snaps at Goku. Goku gets his attention, and Ghidorah just and fires the gravity beams. Goku's dodging, just blasting it. He's like, Kaioken, that's fine. And comes and smacks Ghidorah. Ghidorah just goes reeling a bit, but remember, this is much weaker than what we had a Goku at with Super. So Ghidorah can still take those hits. Goku just does a Kaioken times 5 Kamehameha. Does hurt Ghidorah, but Ghidorah's just coming back with the gravity beams. One actually does hit Goku after a beam stroke. He goes flying, lands in the ocean. He comes back out, Ray's like, I will not let you pass. Times 10 comes out, just rushes and just boom, smacks right into Ghidorah, nearly blowing out his chest. But Ghidorah's he's just falling, the heads are just. And one of the heads just comes and snaps Goku, and he's protected by his aura, but just blasts him with his gravity beam. Just goes, and he's exhausted. He's still hovering in the air. Just what the hell is he? I don't think I got anything more left. Oh God! And Ghidorah is now flying really low just because he just nearly got his chest blown out. And it's regenerating, but it's taking a bit because it's not like just regenerating a limb. And then at that moment, then the Godzilla comes up, grabs him, and just, rips the head off. And fortunately, this is where Goku can really shine because they right now, this is where like Serizawa and them are kind of like recording it, and then they say, we have developed a prototype weapon, an oxygen destroyer. Hopefully we will, leave this all behind us and forget about it. And this is where Goku's like, oh no, and he basically just, Kamehameha, boom, just blows up the oxygen destroyer. Like, what was that? And this is where there's a very key difference here. People saw Goku do this. They see this person floating in the air, firing blue energy out, and they saw Goku. It's like, what is he? And that leaves Godzilla the chance to kill Ghidorah, because the director said, had they not interfered, the military not interfered, Godzilla would have won that fight. So, yeah, it's now, and that leads us into, the Monsterverse, or Godzilla vs. Kong, where Goku's probably got even stronger at this point. And he's probably been lying and hiding because even though Goku's very friendly and stuff like that, he knows that people are going to want to use him, and he's just not, he'll protect people, sure, but he's not going to be that guy. He's not going to be, he's like, I'm going to work for a government organization. No. So Goku kind of just does his own thing. Goku can survive on his own, no problem. So that's not an issue. It's really when, Godzilla and Kong are, starting to, clash a bit. He's like, something's going on. Also keep in mind that Ghidorah's whole body is around. So when you get, so here's the thing. I think you're actually going to see two Mecha Kaiju. You will see a Mecha Godzilla, which uses one of the severed heads of Ghidorah. And then the other two severed heads are used to create Mecha Ghidorah. So basically what happens is, ultimately near the end of the film, is that when Mecha Godzilla comes online, Mecha Ghidorah also comes online. So now you have Mecha Ghidorah and Mecha Godzilla, which is technically Mecha Ghidorah too, Mecha King Ghidorah, because it's Ghidorah controlling. So now Godzilla's like, gotta take two of these up, but Goku shows up because it's basically his friend, and he goes and he helps Kong out because he goes bad, and and he helps Kong, and basically he says like, yeah, Kong, yeah, Godzilla's not the enemy, man, they're the enemy. Hold on, he's like, I got you. And, no, they're both ganging up on Godzilla, but Goku comes in, takes on Mecha Godzilla. Godzilla's got the Mecha Ghidorah to deal with, who's so decked out, armed to the fucking teeth. And so they're duking it out. And Goku's struggling. The strongest Goku is, like, this is a serious piece of war machine right here. I mean, except for Kiru, who had the opposite Zero Cannon, I would argue this might be, I mean, the anime Ghidorah, Mecha Godzilla is very weird, so I don't know how to really grade that one. But this might be one of the strongest versions of Mechagodzilla we've seen. But again, we actually haven't seen a huge amount of them, to be fair. But anyway, so, Goku's clashing with Mechagodzilla. He pumps the Kaioken all the way up to 20 this time, and blasts his head off. But unfortunately, again, it drains him dry. Oh, excuse me. It drains him dry. So, it's like, he's now taxed, like, damn it, and now Godzilla's able to maybe, like, tear one of the heads off, but unfortunately the other two are just overpowering him. And then Kong comes in, and they do the double team, do the Energy Axe thing, Kong gets the win, they both tear another head off, it's like, yeah, awesome, they go their separate ways. And Goku finally use the guys in the Dragon Ball universe like, we found you, Goku! Man, it took forever. Don't worry, it's like, alright, time to go, later Z, later Kong, bye! God. Yeah, it's not if Goku was born in the Monsterverse, whatever. I think we gotta be very clear about that, because that makes no sense. If he is, he's a complete anomaly, because there is no rationale for Goku as he is as a character, as a Saiyan, as a Super Saiyan, all that, because that doesn't exist in the Monsterverse world at the moment. We know extraterrestrials exist to some degree, because that's what Ghidorah is, but we can't just say, oh, well, Saiyans exist in the Monsterverse. No, they don't. You can't do that. So it's really, what if Goku got sent to the Monsterverse? And that's really what I think would happen. As Kid Goku, he just can't do a damn thing. As Dragon Ball Super Goku, he kind of just slaps the entire verse around. As Saiyan Saga Goku, he struggles. And that's what makes it ultimately the most interesting version, I think, of the story. But ultimately, he still comes out on top because he's Goku, and he likes Kong, and he likes Godzilla. Anywho, that's my thoughts on what if Goku were sent to the Monsterverse. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. What do you think about this? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I'll be back with my Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 6 season finale review. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, folks. Later.